This is Stoicism for Stress Relief. Ancient Wisdom for Modern Serenity, 2024 Guide for Beginners. Written by Jerome Ferrin. Published by Audiobook Nexus.
What is the definition of stress? The sensation of stress arises when we perceive an event or circumstance as threatening or demanding. Consequently, stress can be described as an emotional state of pressure and tension that emerges when we find it difficult to cope with situations or feel inundated. When subjected to stress, our bodies release a cascade of chemicals and hormones. Familiar to many is the fight-or-flight response triggered by this process. However, it also exerts an influence on various aspects of our physiology, such as metabolism, memory, and immune system, among others. Types of stress. There are four primary categories of stress: acute stress, episodic acute stress, chronic stress, and burnout. Let's explore each of them individually. Acute stress. Acute stress arises as a response to new or demanding situations. Events like divorce, public speaking exams, or interviews can trigger acute stress, which usually lasts for a short time and subsides once the stressful event passes. In Stoicism for stress relief certain cases, acute stress can be beneficial as it helps us adapt to challenging circumstances and motivates us to overcome obstacles. Generally, both our emotions and body quickly recover from acute stress. Episodic acute stress. Episodic acute stress occurs when someone experiences frequent episodes of acute stress. This may result from factors like work deadlines, stressful relationships, or setting excessively high expectations for oneself. For instance, healthcare professionals often face regular stressful situations, leading to episodic acute stress. Unlike acute stress, individuals with episodic acute stress find it challenging to return to a peaceful and relaxed state as they constantly endure high-pressure situations. The cumulative effects of recurring, intense stress may make individuals feel like they are always dealing with a new crisis. Chronic stress. Chronic stress emerges from prolonged exposure to stressors, such as having a consistently stressful job or frequently engaging in conflicts with a partner. If left unmanaged, chronic stress can severely impact one's health. It occurs when the body's autonomic nervous system fails to trigger the relaxation response regularly due to the frequency or severity of stressors. Essentially, the body remains in a state of physiological alertness, affecting various organs and systems. Humans are not designed to live in a constant state of stress, and chronic stress can detrimentally affect overall well-being, often without individuals realizing it. Burnout. Burnout is a common experience that everyone may face at some point in life. It arises from extended periods of feeling overburdened and is often linked to factors such as work, volunteering, or caregiving responsibilities. Burnout is a state of exhaustion resulting from continuous emotional, physical, and mental strain. Workplace stress is a significant contributor to burnout. People suffer from burnout when they feel overwhelmed, emotionally depleted, and unable to meet the constant demands of life. While not a medical condition itself, if left unaddressed, burnout can negatively impact both physical and emotional health, as well as personal, professional, and social life. Common causes of burnout include excessive workloads, workplace discrimination, ambiguous job expectations, lack of communication, or support from managers, among others, where Stoicism makes a difference. Throughout history, people have devised various coping mechanisms to confront and handle stress. These methods vary in their effectiveness and adaptiveness. However, Stoicism stands out among these coping mechanisms because it transcends the mere management of stress. It embodies an entire life philosophy. Typically, coping mechanisms entail finding ways to live with the stress and still grappling with the underlying problem. In contrast, Stoicism offers a profound perspective where stress itself need not be viewed as an insurmountable issue. The philosophy I am about to introduce is not just a temporary fix. It is a transformative lifestyle. My objective is to equip you with one of the most powerful tools to permanently conquer the battle against stress. By embracing Stoicism, you will not only release stress but also cultivate a fresh outlook on life, enabling you to lead a purposeful and fulfilling existence. Welcome to the enriching journey of Stoicism. Introduction. Your thoughts shape the happiness in your life. Marcus Aurelius, Debts and Lessons. Welcome to the realm of Stoic philosophy, where stress and worries find no home. Our journey will lead you to your inner chai, connecting you with your soul to discover true peace. However, if you came here expecting a quick fix or a simple life hack, you're mistaken. Stoicism is not a mere coping mechanism. It's a profound way of living that demands effort and commitment. There are no shortcuts. This applies not only to Stoicism, but to any genuine philosophy for life. So, be prepared to invest yourself fully as we delve deep into this transformative path. My intention goes beyond introducing you to Stoicism in theory. I am to guide you in implementing it practically to relieve stress and find inner peace. This book is designed to bridge traditional Stoicism with the realities of the modern world, making it accessible and applicable to your everyday struggles. I am dedicated to helping you make Stoicism work effectively in your life. Now, let's address the question, what is Stoicism? It might seem simple, but defining Stoicism has proven challenging due to various misconceptions surrounding it today. For example, some mistakenly view Stoicism as suppressing emotions and maintaining composure in the face of hardships, a definition that misses the essence of Stoicism. To grasp the true nature of Stoicism, we must look back to its origins around 300 BC when Zeno the Citium established it. The term Stoics came from their informal gatherings at Athens's painted Stoa, a colonnade in the Agora. While other philosophical schools thrived in that period, Stoics had no official property and gathered in the city center. Cleanthes, Zeno's student, continued attracting followers after Zeno's death, and Chrysippus succeeded him. Stoicism found favor in the Roman world during the 1st century BC, appealing to various people like Cicero, Seneca, Musonius Rufus, and Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism became a way of life, shaping attitudes and actions rather than just intellectual assumptions about the world. It delved into ontology, epistemology, and ethics, emphasizing the importance of living virtuously. Unlike other ancient philosophical schools, Stoics focused on a materialist ontology, considering God as a material force permeating the universe. Their philosophy highlighted the significance of goodness in finding happiness, downplaying the influence of external factors like wealth. Stoicism even offered cognitive psychotherapy to overcome negative emotions. The ideal Stoic sage embodied rationality, dispassion, indifference to external circumstances, and, remarkably, a sense of joy even in the face of adversity. While its popularity waned in the early 3rd century, Stoicism's intellectual significance endured. Through this journey, we aim to help you grasp Stoicism's true essence and apply it practically to transform your life, alleviate stress, and achieve lasting inner peace. Let's embark on this enriching path together. Despite the loss of nearly all original texts of the Athenian Stoics, their ideas have left a lasting impact on later philosophers. This influence was carried through Latin texts by Cicero and Seneca during the Middle Ages, and collections of fragments from the early Stoics, sourced from various ancient authors who cited or reported on their writings. Stoicism played a significant role in shaping philosophy during the 16th and 17th centuries, contributing to its growth. Renowned writers of that time, including Erasmus, Calvin Montaigne, Descartes, Pascal, Malebranche, and Leibniz, were familiar with Stoic concepts. Discussions revolving around ego, human reason, destiny, free will, and emotions often reference Stoicism during this period. Even in modern times, the influence of Stoicism persists, evident in the works of Michael Foucault and his exploration of self-care and the technology of the self. However, understanding Stoicism as a philosophical system presents challenges due to the scarcity of early writings. Most of the original texts have vanished, leaving us reliant on subsequent accounts, which were sometimes biased or framed in different intellectual contexts. Nonetheless, a thorough examination of Stoicism reveals it to be a practical path towards self-mastery, resilience, and wisdom, rather than an obscure academic subject. At its core, Stoicism is a way of life that values moral excellence above all else. Stoics adhere to 3 fundamental beliefs. Virtue alone leads to happiness. Indifference should be maintained towards external goods, and the world is governed by God's providence. This book will primarily focus on the first two beliefs. It aims to answer questions like how one can pursue virtue to shield oneself from stress and which external influences are undeservingly shaping our identity. The ultimate goal is to equip readers with timeless Stoic wisdom to live a stress-free life. If this resonates with your expectations, continue reading for a transformative journey. Timeless stress, timeless wisdom. If we let our imagination run wild, we suffer more than reality demands. Seneca, Letter from a Stoic, timeless stress, timeless wisdom. If we let our imagination run wild, we suffer more than reality demands. Next, Seneca, Letter from a Stoic, succumbing to the accompanying tensions. Marcus Aurelius exemplified this philosophy, seeking to contain his anger and avoid unnecessary distress by not reacting impulsively. Epictetus, too, emphasized focusing on what one can control, such as their studies. Seneca frequently advised his students not to suffer before the time of necessity. This resonates with the words of William Shakespeare, who wrote, "A coward dies 1,000 deaths, a hero dies but once." Stress may be a constant companion, but Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to shape our response to it. By adopting Stoic principles and practices, we can navigate life's challenges with resilience, wisdom, and a tranquil spirit. Timeless stress requires timeless wisdom, and Stoicism offers a profound path to inner strength and peace. Understanding stress and taking control. The discipline of perception offers valuable insights into managing stress by recognizing what lies within our control. Drawing from ancient Stoic teachings, we understand that while we cannot control external circumstances, we have the power to control our reactions. Once we grasp this concept, stressful situations lose their grip on us. To gain control over what we can manage and let go of what we cannot, consider the following steps. Reflect on the source of your anxiety. Examine the duration of your distress. Assess the level of control you possess over the situation. If there is some control, contemplate possible ways to modify or improve the current situation. In cases where modifying the situation is beyond your influence, e.g., dealing with a difficult boss, consider altering your perspective on the stress source. Evaluate the situation from different angles and adopt the viewpoint that minimizes anxiety. If you are ready to embrace this approach, continue reading. Identifying stressors. The first step towards reducing stress is to identify the primary stressors in your life. But what exactly is a stressor? A stressor encompasses anything in your environment or within you that triggers the release of stress hormones. These factors can be physical or mental in nature. Physical stressors include injuries, illnesses, or any form of physical discomfort. On the other hand, mental stressors stem from events, people, opinions, or anything that we perceive as detrimental to our mental well-being, often manifesting as verbal expressions. It is essential to recognize that not everyone is stressed by the same things. While stress might fall under the categories of physical or mental stressors, pinpointing the specific stress source in your life is crucial for effectively addressing it. Identifying stressors. Taking control of your well-being. A stressor refers to any event or condition that induces feelings of anxiety or tension. Almost anything can become a source of stress if perceived as a threat. It's important to remember that stress is a natural response to perceived danger. To identify your stressors effectively, focus on the major aspects of your life. Physical stressors. These may arise from your immediate physical surroundings, such as bright lights, noise pollution, extreme temperatures, both heat and cold, weather conditions, and traffic. Psychological stressors. Your psychological environment can also contribute to stress. This includes encounters with rude or violent individuals, disagreements with others, insufficient time spent with essential people, lack of social support, and feelings of loneliness. Financial stressors. Financial situations can be a significant source of stress stemming from factors like taxes, unpaid bills, unexpected expenses, financial strain, and difficulty making ends meet. The good news is that adopting Stoicism can help alleviate these stressors, regardless of their origin. Stressors may be either physical or mental in nature, and the following section delves deeper into exploring them. Identifying physical stressors. To identify your stressors, you must actively search for them. People often feel overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, and worry without fully understanding the root causes. To avoid reaching that point, ask yourself questions about essential aspects of your life, your job, home, relationships, and city. Reflect on which of these aspects is causing the most stress and why. Assess your physical environment. Your living conditions and daily interactions within your community significantly impact your mental health. Factors such as your home, city, state, weather, social atmosphere, and workplace can profoundly affect your well-being if you spend a considerable amount of time in these environments. Evaluate your level of engagement. Stress can arise from overcommitting yourself or experiencing boredom and inactivity. Assess whether you have taken on too much or if you might benefit from adding more fulfilling activities to your life. Observe your eating habits. Diet plays a crucial role in both mental and physical well-being. Excessive consumption of fast and processed foods has been linked to anxiety and depression. Choosing a healthier diet can lead to improved mood and reduced stress levels. Monitor your sleep habits. Inadequate sleep can be a significant source of stress, affecting your overall quality of life. Poor sleep can lead to increased irritability and heightened stress responses to minor challenges. Prioritize getting enough rest to promote a positive mood. Be mindful of caffeine intake. While coffee is a common morning ritual, excessive caffeine consumption can contribute to nervousness and anxiety, particularly in individuals not accustomed to it. Consider temporarily reducing or eliminating caffeine intake to see if it affects your stress levels positively. By recognizing and addressing these potential stressors, you gain greater control over your well-being and can work toward leading a more balanced and serene life. Identifying mental stressors. Unraveling the root causes. Evaluate your relationships. Many experience mental and emotional stress due to their interactions with others. Pay attention to how your body reacts when you are with certain individuals. Feelings of nervousness or intimidation around certain friends, colleagues, or acquaintances may indicate they are stressors for you. Any relationship, regardless of its nature, can become toxic, so don't limit your assessment. Examine your thoughts. Consistently worrying about things beyond your control can be a major stress trigger. Mentally preparing for worst-case scenarios that rarely occur can lead to undue stress. Reflect on whether your stress stems from imagining the worst outcomes. Assess your self-image. Holding a negative view of yourself can be a significant mental stressor. Constant self-criticism and self-sabotage set you up for failure and contribute to stress. Evaluate your response to change. Significant life events, whether joyous or challenging, can cause stress. Observe how you deal with change. Embracing change and adapting to it may lead to less stress, while resistance to change can exacerbate stress and impact other aspects of your life. Manage expectation. Societal influences, especially through social media, can lead to unrealistically high expectations that induce stress. Reflect on whether unmet expectations cause you anxiety. Regulate social media use. While social media has benefits, excessive usage can become a major stressor. Obsessing over likes, follows, and social validation can lead to addiction and negatively impact mental well-being. You think multitasking? Although once praised, multitasking can be counterproductive and stressful. Studies suggest focusing on one task at a time improves productivity and reduces stress. Multitasking can strain memory and concentration, leading to decreased attention spans. Analyze your financial situation. Financial pressure is a common source of mental stress. Worries about rent, bills, and expenses may cause anxiety. Financial strain can extend to other areas of life, affecting work schedules and overall well-being. Identifying and understanding these mental stressors empowers you to address them effectively. By recognizing the root causes of stress, you can take proactive steps to cultivate a healthier and more balanced mental state. Your perspective, your response. Things exist outside of us, self-contained and neutral, devoid of inherent knowledge or judgment. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. We have explored the significant stressors and examples of what might be causing stress in your life. Now let's delve into dealing with them. An effective way to address stress is by adopting the Stoic approach of altering your perception, as mentioned earlier. But what exactly is perception? The dictionary may define it as how you see things or interpret situations, but in Stoicism, perception encompasses much more. In Stoicism, perception is a way of life and a mindset that reflects how you perceive yourself in the world. It goes beyond simply observing situations. It's about choosing to see yourself as either a victim or a victor. This self-perception significantly influences how you interpret any situation you encounter. Therefore, perception isn't limited to the way we view specific events. It shapes our identity and outlook on life. Developing this perception requires observation and training. In this chapter, we'll focus on retraining our minds to perceive stressful situations differently and reshape how we see ourselves. The role of perception in stress. Although perception is a broad concept, we are narrowing its focus to understand how it can help us reduce stress in our lives. Many factors influence our perception of ourselves and our circumstances. Therefore, it's not as simple as assuming that what we see is an objective reality. The Stoics believed that our reactions to the world are entirely within our control. Nothing else determines them. They argued that most of the time, we have a choice in how we respond to any situation. However, it's essential to recognize that our reactions are influenced by our perceptions, which in turn are shaped by our beliefs. Negative thoughts can take root in our minds over time if left unaddressed. As a result, our responses to situations change as our beliefs about them evolve. The good news is that we have the power to enhance our lives, respond more effectively, and mitigate the impact of stressful or painful events. By refining our perceptions, we can cultivate resilience, find serenity, and navigate life's challenges with a newfound sense of clarity and purpose. Transforming your perspective, embrace daily gratitude. A significant cause of stress is the constant pursuit of what we lack rather than appreciating what we already have. Cultivating an attitude of gratitude can shift this perspective. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, cherish the things you possess. Recognize that what you now have might have once been a cherished desire. Embracing gratitude disrupts the cycle of materialism and allows you to find contentment in the present moment. The more thankful you are, the less you crave what you lack, leading to greater satisfaction and happiness. See obstacles as opportunities. Perception plays a crucial role in how we handle challenges. By viewing obstacles as chances for growth and learning, we can transform stress into opportunities for personal development. Rather than feeling defeated, embrace obstacles as stepping stones to progress. Choose to seek solutions and resilience rather than dwelling on complaints. This shift in mindset empowers you to navigate hardships with determination and strength. Take responsibility. Changing your perception involves taking responsibility for your emotions and reactions. Instead of blaming others or circumstances for your predicaments, recognize that you have control over your thoughts and feelings. Choose to respond with a sense of agency, deciding whether to be a victim or a victor in any situation. Avoiding blame empowers you to address challenges with a proactive and constructive mindset. Practice non-judgment. Our past experiences and surroundings shape us, but they do not define us entirely. Recognize that everyone has their own unique journey, which might involve struggles and hardships. Practicing non-judgment fosters empathy and understanding for others. By acknowledging the diversity of human experiences, we can become more compassionate and accepting of one another. Release anxiety consciously. Anxiety can be managed by making a conscious choice to let go of it. Just as you can create feelings within yourself, you can also choose to discard them. Marcus Aurelius demonstrated this when he consciously abandoned his anxiety, acknowledging that it resided within his perceptions. Similarly, by making a deliberate decision to release anxiety, you can regain control over your emotions and find a greater sense of peace and tranquility. By actively reshaping your perception, you can transform stress into opportunities for growth, resilience, and contentment. Embrace gratitude, view challenges positively, take responsibility for your reactions, practice empathy, and consciously release anxiety to lead a more balanced and fulfilling life. Your perspective, your authority, The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil, not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own? Epictetus, the Enchiri Dingen changing, your perception, is only meaningful when you focus on the right aspects. Epictetus understood this well when he introduced the idea of mental rewiring, which in Stoic philosophy is known as the dichotomy of control. This principle holds immense importance and depth within Stoicism, yet it is straightforward to grasp. The dichotomy of control. The dichotomy of control is the Stoic principle of distinguishing between things within our control and those beyond it. As described by Epictetus in the Enchiridae, things within your control, your thoughts and actions. Things outside of your control, everything else. By understanding this dichotomy, you can avoid wasting time and energy on things beyond your influence and focus on those aspects you can actually control. Fortunately, there are numerous things we can control, such as our thoughts, desires, actions, and responses to situations. On the other hand, there are aspects we cannot control, such as our health, external circumstances, reputation, and the past. You might wonder, why can't I control those things? But ponder it further. Can you genuinely control your health entirely? You can take care of yourself, follow a healthy lifestyle, and take precautions, yet illness may still strike unexpectedly. This reveals that we have no actual authority over external events. Even the most health-conscious person can fall victim to illness. While we cannot control what happens to us, we have authority over our reactions. As Epictetus puts it, there are things which are within our power and things beyond our power. Within our power are opinion, aim, desire, aversion, and, in one phrase, whatever affairs are our own. Beyond our power are body, property, reputation, office, and whatever things are not properly our own affairs. Recognizing this dichotomy empowers us to focus on our own actions and attitudes, leading to a more balanced and contented life. By directing our energy towards the controllable aspects, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety over things beyond our reach. The duality of control, letting go of worries. Understanding the duality of control begins with realizing the futility of worrying in life. Consider a situation where you go for a coronavirus test due to feeling unwell. While the results will take a few days, you immediately start worrying upon returning home. Your anxiety deprives you of sleep and appetite for days until the results arrive, and luckily, they turn out negative, relieving you of stress. But even if the results were positive, the worrying would have been in vain, causing you suffering both before and after. Seneca aptly remarked in Letters from a Stoic that we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. This insight prompts us to recognize that stressing about anything is unnecessary. When dealing with things beyond our control, allowing them to upset us serves no purpose. Conversely, for matters within our control, worrying achieves nothing. Instead, we should take action to resolve them. As Epictetus wisely states, the path to happiness lies in ceasing to worry about things beyond our will. Limiting concern for others' opinions. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 12.4. A common source of needless concern is worrying about others' opinions of us. Yet, we have no sway over what people think, among other things. As we've learned, if we can't control it, we shouldn't fret about it. While constructive criticism may be valuable, dwelling excessively on others' viewpoints is wasteful of time and energy. While it's okay to consider constructive criticism from those we respect and trust, we must filter such feedback. 3 questions can help. Do we value and respect the critic? Is the criticism sincere and genuine? Does it truly benefit us? Understanding success, embracing uncertainty. There is a delicate balance to be struck in this philosophy of letting go of stress. Although we may not control the ultimate outcome of events, we can strive to influence them to the best of our abilities. The archer shooting an arrow. The archer can perfect their stance, the bow, and the arrow, but external factors like wind or an unsteady target may alter the arrow's path. Similarly in life, despite our best efforts, unexpected obstacles may hinder us from achieving our goals. However, this does not mean we should not give our best. Just like the archer, the key lies in focusing on what we can control, even though success is not guaranteed. Whether it's a job interview, a relationship, or an exam, the emphasis should be on giving our best performance rather than obsessing over the end result. Embracing the power of choice, taking risks and making decisions in life requires recognizing the duality of control. Like going on an ocean voyage, you can make certain choices like selecting the captain, boat, and date, but when a storm strikes, your only option is to face the situation fearlessly. It's essential to understand that you can't control external factors, but you can control your actions and efforts. By keeping this principle in mind, you can take risks without unnecessary strain. The focus shifts from stressing over outcomes to putting in your best effort, realizing that success lies in trying your best, regardless of the result. The power of opinion. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our judgment about external events is what truly affects us. Rather than letting emotions govern our reactions, it is our ability to reason that sets us apart from other creatures. We must choose how we respond to every situation, using our power to reason. If something cannot be changed, let it go. If it can be improved, take action. Overcoming instincts. The Stoics recognize that our initial response to a situation is beyond our control, but we can manage how we react afterward. While our first emotional reaction may be inevitable, we can choose not to let negative emotions linger. Our decisions after the initial reaction are what matter the most. We have the power to rise above our instincts and act in our best interest. Turning adversity into advantage. The duality of control empowers us to transform adverse circumstances into positive ones. When something is beyond our control, worrying about it is futile. Instead, focus on how you respond to the situation, as that can make all the difference. Richard Turner's story serves as an inspiring example. Despite becoming legally blind due to scarlet fever, he chose not to let this setback hinder his ambitions. He worked harder, achieving greatness as a martial artist and a card magician. His ability to accept what he couldn't change and focus on what he could control led him to remarkable achievements. Embracing the power of choice and the duality of control can propel you towards success and strength in the face of adversity. Focus on what you can influence, and you'll find yourself at the top of your game. Integrating Stoicism into your life. Do not waste time debating what a good person should be. Be one. This quote from Marcus Aurelius emphasizes that philosophy is not merely a mental exercise, but a practical application of wisdom. While modern interpretations tend to focus on acquiring knowledge, ancient philosophers were also driven by action. Though Stoicism's duality of control may seem straightforward, embodying it in life requires effort. Here are some ways to integrate this concept into your daily life. Prepare for adversity. Practice Stoicism by envisioning challenges and setbacks. Consider scenarios like a flat tire, losing your wallet, or facing a health issue. Reflect on what you can control in these situations and what is beyond your influence. This exercise will help you categorize life events based on your ability to change them. Evening reflections. Spend a few minutes before bedtime to reflect on your day. Analyze moments when external factors affected your emotions and reactions. Take note of instances where you could have practiced the duality of control better. Instead of criticizing yourself, use these reflections as learning experiences to improve your future responses. By actively applying Stoicism's principles, you can become more resilient and centered, navigating life with a wiser and calmer perspective. Embrace the philosophy as a way of being, not just a theory, and let it guide your actions and decisions. Embracing Stoic resilience. Do not wish for everything to happen as you desire. Instead, wish for everything to happen as it actually will. Then you will find contentment. This quote by Epictetus reminds us that life is filled with uncertainties, challenges, and the inevitability of death. No one is exempt from facing difficult situations, and no matter how long we live, stress is a timeless companion. Fate is impartial and can lead us through trying times. We may experience loss, accidents, or unexpected setbacks that change our lives forever. Despite our lack of control over these events, Stoicism teaches us to confront life head-on. Burying our heads in denial and avoidance only leaves us unprepared and ill-equipped to cope with reality. Stoic resilience, a key aspect of Stoicism, offers a different approach. It emphasizes enjoying the present while understanding that nothing truly belongs to us, and the duration of our possessions and joys is beyond our control. Happiness and sorrow lie in our perceptions, not the events themselves. By internalizing this perspective, we can achieve peace and contentment regardless of life's script. Stoic resilience also helps us strengthen our emotional fortitude, making us better equipped to handle the challenges life throws at us. It fosters mental toughness and emotional adaptability, essential qualities to navigate the pressures of everyday life. Whether we are going through tough times or enjoying prosperity, Stoic resilience remains relevant. It is a practical and valuable doctrine that can benefit everyone at some point in their lives. Instead of succumbing to despair or denial, embracing Stoic resilience allows us to confront life's uncertainties with courage and inner strength. By doing so, we unlock the potential for lasting peace and fulfillment. Becoming resilient. A Stoic approach. Embrace engagement. The ancient Stoics knew the importance of living each day to the fullest and being fully present in all activities. By avoiding boredom and restlessness, we can maintain our tranquility. To be like Seneca, who never wasted a moment, immerse yourself genuinely in your work and home life, not just for the sake of results, but for the joy of living authentically. Adapt to circumstances. Life is unpredictable, and we must accept that the status quo can change. Stoics do not seek answers to every question. Instead, they focus on adapting to situations. By training our minds to adjust to circumstances, we can find happiness even in the worst conditions. Recognize your limits. Avoid overestimating your capabilities and taking on tasks beyond your means. Be mindful of the work you choose to invest your time in and avoid burdensome and unrealistic expectations that lead to unnecessary psychological strain. Choose friends wisely. True friendship adds value to life, but toxic relationships can drain us emotionally. Exercise caution when selecting your social circle and be wary of negative influences that might bring you down. Cultivate contentment. The pursuit of material possessions and wealth does not lead to lasting happiness. Instead, find contentment within yourself and your way of thinking. Prioritize having enough to live comfortably rather than excessive desires for wealth. Control your cravings. Excessive indulgence leads to discontentment and disrupts tranquility. Live frugally and avoid an obsession with material possessions as they lose their charm when carried to extremes. Master your destiny. Life comes with challenges, but our response to them determines our peace of mind. Remember that circumstances are transient and bad situations can become tolerable over time. Do not dwell on negativity or burden others with your worries. A Stoic's goal is to embrace the present and move forward with resilience. Let go of material attachment. Find peace of mind by detaching from possessions. Understand that nothing truly belongs to you and be prepared to lose everything, even life itself, as the fear of death hinders a meaningful existence. Cultivate the ability to foresee disaster. Prepare yourself for sudden changes and misfortune. Adaptability and forewarning can help you overcome adversity when it strikes unexpectedly. Avoid meaningless busy work. Focus on purposeful actions and avoid meaningless activities like eavesdropping and gossiping. Maintain a clear goal and direct your efforts towards it. Don't be surprised by setbacks. Anticipate and expect difficulties. By projecting your thoughts forward and considering all possible outcomes, you can be prepared for unexpected challenges. Remain open-minded and decisive. Embrace flexibility and avoid fixation on specific outcomes. Be prepared for changes and uncertainties in your plans. Take a lighthearted approach. Instead of feeling hopeless, maintain a positive perspective. Laugh at human folly and avoid dwelling on troubles. Embrace fearlessness. Stoics understand that worrying about uncontrollable events is unwise. Meet challenges with boldness and courage. Be true to yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not, as people will criticize you regardless. Spend time alone and with loved ones to better understand yourself. Relax and enjoy life. Practice moderation and temperance. Take breaks, indulge in entertainment, and enjoy life's pleasures while remaining vigilant in maintaining tranquility. Embracing amor fati, love of destiny. Fearful of change, but can anything exist without it? What's closer to nature's heart? Can you take a hot bath and leave the firewood as it was? Eat food without transforming it. Can any vital process take place without something being changed? Can't you see? It's just the same with you, and just as vital to nature. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 7.8. The concept of amor fati, or love of destiny, is a powerful way to find tranquility and acceptance in the present moment. Stoics have grappled with this idea, understanding that change is inevitable and fundamental to life's essence. Whether joy or pain, every experience is a result of a continuous flow of change, mutations, and development that has shaped our existence. Embracing amor fati means appreciating and accepting our fates, recognizing that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. Living amor fati means taking responsibility for our outlook on life and consciously choosing to view events in a positive light. When faced with loss or adversity, amor fati urges us to see the lessons and opportunities within those experiences. Instead of dwelling on the past with pessimism, we should focus on improving our present by cultivating a positive perspective. The concept of amor fati has evolved over time, passed down from Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius to later thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche described greatness in a human being as amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it. All idealism is mendacity in the face of what is necessary, but love it. Embracing amor fati means not only accepting our destiny, but also appreciating and loving it for what it is. Complaining and wishing for things to be different only hinder our ability to embrace the world as it is and take action. Instead of dwelling on the past or what we cannot change, we should focus on making the most of our present and taking chances. By adopting amor fati, we can find peace and fulfillment, making the most of our precious years and appreciating the unique journey that led us to where we are today. Do you embrace the present? Each man only lives in this present instant. All the rest either has been lived or remains in uncertainty. Marcus Aurelius, Debts and Lessons. This book is not about Buddhism, but it shares some philosophical parallels. When one encounters different traditions, it's beneficial to reflect on their similarities and differences. In this case, we'll explore a concept associated with Buddhism, though not exclusive to it, and explore how combining both studies can help us reduce stress in our lives. Both Stoicism and Buddhism, particularly in their modern, engaged, and non-renunciant variants, emphasize the importance of the present moment, known as mindfulness today. Mindfulness encourages us to be fully aware that we exist here and now, and that the only time we truly live is the present. Given this, it's no surprise that mindfulness plays a significant role in Stoicism. The Stoic concept of mindfulness is encapsulated in the Greek word prosoph, which means attention. Epictetus, in his discourses and selected writings, uses prosode to refer to mindfulness. He tells his students that even seemingly minor activities like singing or playing should be done with prosode. Epictetus believed that mindfulness had broad applicability in our lives. He warned that once the mind starts wandering, it becomes challenging to recall it, bring it back to what is right, to self-respect and moderation. While Stoic mindfulness might not involve practices like sitting meditation or focusing on the breath, both philosophies agree that a well-directed mind is invaluable. Although Stoic mindfulness differs from the Buddhist practice, it is still effective in reducing stress, anxiety, and worry. You might wonder, if it's not exactly like mindfulness, then what is Stoic mindfulness? Let's explore further. Practicing Stoic mindfulness. In Stoicism, mindfulness is known as prosode. It involves applying critical ethical principles to daily situations and focusing on what you can control rather than what you can't. By directing your efforts towards becoming a good social being and managing what is within your control, you can find tranquility and purpose in life. A fundamental question to ask yourself when practicing prosode is, where am I in this situation? Can I control it or not? This simple yet profound inquiry makes a significant difference. For instance, In a workplace scenario, instead of seeking your manager's approval, something beyond your control, you focus on performing your work well and maintaining a good working relationship with things within your control. Stoic mindfulness involves regularly asking yourself, where am I putting myself in this situation? Throughout the day, it helps you evaluate your thoughts and emotions and prevents you from dwelling on things beyond your control. This self-monitoring empowers you to focus on what you can effectively accomplish. Some may wonder if Stoic mindfulness leads to selfishness, where you only care about your feelings and thoughts. However, Stoicism emphasizes striving for the good, which involves virtues and beneficial actions, not self-centeredness. Monitoring yourself and being mindful of your thoughts and feelings are part of becoming a better person. Stoicism doesn't reject the concepts of me and mine when they refer to what is under your control and your desire to do good. The aim is to gradually replace the selfish ego with a more benevolent one, steering qualities like kindness, generosity, and philanthropy. By practicing Stoic mindfulness, you can achieve balance in your life. It reduces the stress of trying to please others constantly. To be mindful the Stoic way, you only need to evaluate each situation, determine what you can control, and act righteously to the best of your ability. Additionally, Stoic mindfulness includes considering others in your actions. It emphasizes living as part of a community of humans, showing compassion and caring for others. This philanthropic aspect of Stoicism is one of its distinguishing features and highlights its kind and benevolent nature. The moral compass of Stoicism. In all my years of practicing Stoicism and engaging with fellow Stoics on the journey to reduce stress, cultivate self-awareness, and embrace goodness, I have encountered numerous thought-provoking questions. Some of these questions are so profound that I find myself delving into various philosophical subjects to seek answers, despite my extensive knowledge of Stoicism. Amid these insightful discussions, one particular question seems to arise frequently. What course of action should I take in this specific situation? Or, more broadly, how should a Stoic approach certain circumstances? I am convinced that the ancient Stoics grappled with similar queries, leading them to develop a moral compass known as the four Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. In times of adversity, confusion, and everyday life, the ancient Stoics relied on these four virtues as their guiding principles. They believed that morality was the path to contentment and that true happiness could only be achieved by living ethically in harmony with nature. The four cardinal virtues of Stoicism. The virtue of prudence. Prudence, often referred to as wisdom, involves the ability to discern between right, wrong, and matters of indifference. The Stoics emphasized the importance of acting virtuously and making thoughtful decisions, focusing on what is within our control. Acts of bravery and moderation, for example, align with wisdom, while lying, indulging in unhealthy habits, and pursuing excessive desires fall into the realm of vice. Stoics believe that virtue and vice are incompatible, with virtue leading to happiness and vice driving us away from it. They also recognize that external things like wealth and fame are indifferent to one's moral character and shouldn't be assigned moral value. The virtue of courage. Courage, the opposite of cowardice, is not the absence of fear but rather the ability to confront fear and act accordingly. Stoics regarded courage as facing insecurities and doing the right thing even when frightened. The famous tale of the Stoic instructor caught in a violent storm exemplifies this virtue, as he remained composed despite his initial fear. Stoicism teaches that fear is a natural response, but a wise person does not succumb to irrational thoughts and emotions. Instead, they exhibit strength of character and moral fortitude in the face of adversity. The virtue of justice. The Stoic concept of justice transcends mere legal systems and language. It encompasses a responsibility to treat others in our community with fairness and kindness. Justice serves as a guiding principle for our interactions with fellow humans, promoting the greater good over individual interests. Just as Marcus Aurelius emphasized, harming the community inevitably harms oneself. Justice is considered the pinnacle of all virtues and plays a crucial role in guiding our behavior towards others. The virtue of temperance. Temperance, also known as moderation, emphasizes self-control and discipline. It involves choosing long-term well-being over short-term, The virtue of prudence, often referred to as wisdom, involves the ability to discern between right, wrong, and matters of indifference. The Stoics emphasize the importance of acting virtuously and making thoughtful decisions, focusing on what is within our control. Acts of bravery and moderation, for example, align with wisdom, while lying, indulging in unhealthy habits, and pursuing excessive desires fall into the realm of vice. Stoics believe that virtue and vice are incompatible, with virtue leading to happiness and vice driving us away from it. They also recognize that external things like wealth and fame are indifferent to one's moral character and shouldn't be assigned moral value. The virtue of courage. Courage, the opposite of cowardice, is not the absence of fear, but rather the ability to confront fear and act accordingly. Stoics regarded courage as facing insecurities and doing the right thing even when frightened. The famous tale of the Stoic instructor caught in a violent storm exemplifies this virtue, as he remained composed despite his initial fear. Stoicism teaches that fear is a natural response, but a wise person does not succumb to irrational thoughts and emotions. Instead, they exhibit strength of character and moral fortitude in the face of adversity. The virtue of justice. The Stoic concept of justice transcends mere legal systems and language. It encompasses a responsibility to treat others and our community with fairness and kindness. Justice serves as a guiding principle for our interactions with fellow humans, promoting the greater good over individual interests. Just as Marcus Aurelius emphasized, harming the community inevitably harms oneself. Justice is considered the pinnacle of all virtues and plays a crucial role in guiding our behavior towards others. The virtue of temperance. Temperance, also known as moderation, emphasizes self-control and discipline. It involves choosing long-term well-being over short-term, establishing a peaceful life through Stoic practices. To lead a fulfilling life and achieve inner calmness, consistency is key. The Stoics, like Epictetus, emphasize the importance of habits and rituals in shaping our actions and character. By cultivating these virtues, we can effectively navigate through life's challenges and make decisions that benefit not only ourselves, but also the greater good. One of the Stoic strategies is negative visualization, which involves mentally preparing for unpleasant circumstances to avoid disappointment. This practice helps protect our spirit from harm and fosters a positive outlook on life. Another essential aspect is self-control, which requires focusing on what we can influence and letting go of what we cannot. By practicing self-discipline, we can prioritize what truly matters and resist addictive behaviors. Keeping a journal is highly valued in Stoicism, as it helps organize thoughts and memories, leading to a calmer mind. Notable Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca maintain journals, reflecting on their actions and the lessons learned. Additionally, the practice of memento mori reminds us of our mortality, encouraging us to appreciate life's precious moments and avoid wasting time on trivial pursuits. Moreover, considering our existence in the grand scheme of the universe provides perspective and humbles us. Recognizing our insignificance compared to the vast cosmos helps us let go of trivial matters and not get caught up in meaningless conflicts. By incorporating these Stoic practices into our lives, we can habituate our peace and lead a more balanced, meaningful, and stress-free existence. Embrace your destiny with love. When we are anxious about the future, we often have specific expectations and dread any deviation from our desires. This fear of the unknown is a common struggle, but the Stoics offered a simple remedy: amor fati, which means love of fate. This principle teaches us that no matter what happens in our lives, as long as we accept the outcome, we will be fine. While we have discussed amor fati previously, it is crucial to see it not merely as a philosophical concept, but as a practical approach in our daily lives. Embracing amor fati does not mean becoming indifferent and passive. Instead, it encourages us not to fixate on specific outcomes, but to find joy in the journey itself.